What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kwame here. Today, I am here with the question: should you lift heavy or should you be lifting lighter to build muscle? Now, this is actually a wide topic, so I'm going to start from lifting heavy. All right. So, we all know that to build muscle, you can build muscle by various ways, and one of the ways is a progressive overload. And um, it's basically a no-brainer, saying that putting more tension on the muscle, lifting heavy in the right way, of course, will put more tension on the muscle, which is fine, and obviously is one way to also progressively overload. But do we need to actually lift heavy? Okay, this is a personal opinion, guys, so feel free to share your thoughts. Um, Personally, I enjoy lifting heavy. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I love the feel. I love the fact that I'm basically pushing to my limits. Um, yeah, hi Anders, how are you? Yeah, I love and I'm on live as well, guys. So just bear with me, guys. Online, please make sure you hit that like button. Thank you. Really appreciate your time as well. Yeah, I love that feel of lifting heavy. Not only do I also obviously notice growth with muscle building, but I also notice strength gains. The research has also shown that your natural testosterone levels is also boosted when you do lift heavy. But again, honestly, the number one thing I love from lifting heavy is the feel and also breaking personal bests. And I find my strength gain is actually a lot quicker than muscle gain. So um, more importantly, motivates me to keep going rather than you know waiting for my muscles to grow, because obviously that takes time, and usually I'll use progress photos to be able to judge how I'm progressing. So I find some of the things lifting heavy does for me is it motivates me to one, keep me going. It definitely helps with my muscle building. It's a no-brainer. Obviously it is hard on your joints, so is it really worth it? Is That's probably the bigger question when it comes to muscle building. So we all know that lifting heavy does help with muscle building. It's a no-brainer. But does that mean that you have to lift heavy, or you can just grow muscle with lighter weights? So when it comes to building muscle, it's all about putting tension on the muscle. Okay, we're trying to tear the muscle fibers, cause microscopic tears in the muscle fibers, and build more satellite cells. So we're trying to grow the muscle this way. Now, heavier weights, obviously, we know puts tension on the muscle, but that we have to be going crazy heavy. So we don't have to be lifting the 1 rep max per se, because that doesn't necessarily mean that that's gonna build us muscle. I mean, in the long run, yes, you are gonna put quite a lot of tension on the muscle, but you don't have to lift a 1 rep max weight to go heavy. So what's the difference between lifting a 1 rep max or lifting 12 reps on a certain weight? And Anders just said, do you think it's good to test the most weight you can lift, test PRs? Personally, and I'm going to answer this question by Anders Ramusen. Personally, I think it's great, in my personal opinion. I love it because it motivates me, and motivation, we all know your progress actually starts from the mental aspect of things. And when I'm motivated, I push myself and I work hard and I challenge my muscles, and that's what we want to be able to grow. So yes, I personally think for personal goals to this. But I mean, if you are not the kind of person that's driven by that kind of motivation, then you can get away with without lifting that. Again, those are mainly for strength goals, not really for hypertrophy goals. When it comes to lifting heavy, it doesn't necessarily mean you're lifting a 1 rep max. You could be lifting, let's say, 50 kilos for 12 reps or 8 to 10 reps, as opposed to someone lifting 100 kilos for 1 rep. So there's differences in testing your 1 rep max. And look, you could still be lifting those 50 kilos for 8 to 10 reps, and that's still pretty heavy, as opposed to you lifting a 1 rep max of 100, and that's still heavy. So it depends on your interpretation of it. 1 rep maxes obviously are different, more strength based per se. I'm not saying you're not gonna put on muscle. Of course, you are gonna build muscle. You are putting the muscle under tension, but the main question we're asking over here is it really worth it to go that heavy, or should we be going lighter instead? Now let's talk a little bit about lighter weights as well. Now, if we're lifting too light, we're not going to be putting enough tension on the muscle for the muscle to grow. Now, we can talk about tension training, where we actually slowly controlling the movements. We slowing down some of our eccentrics, our concentrics. We also having like some isometric holds in place as well. So many different ways to challenge the muscle and put tension on the muscles for them to grow. So is this gonna make our muscle grow? Personally, when it comes to that, I would say you still want to create something with like a little bit of a progressive overload. This is my personal opinion. Again, you can have your own opinion, and I don't mind, and I'm always welcome taking on board. Personally, when I'm doing something like that, for instance, let's say I start with a weight of like 30 kilos, and I'm doing like, let's say 30 reps of that, or like, let's say over 5 seconds, like 5 seconds slow, up and down. I'll do 30 kilos. Then my next weight, I'm probably going to increase the weight slightly, even if it's like 35 kilos. So I'm just causing a little bit of progressive overload there. What I'm doing right now is I'm challenging the muscle. So even when I'm going lighter, I still want to challenge the muscle a little bit. So even though I'm going lighter, I'm still slowly increasing the weight. So what my personal opinion would be, and to cut this really short, instead of saying lifting lighter weights, I'll say, rather than going lifting lighter weights, I'll say challenge the muscle. Maybe lift lighter, but challenge the muscle, if that makes any sense. And you can do that in different ways. You can slow down the tension, but if you do it, and obviously if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling like that's enough tension on the muscle, then you're not going to make any progress, because you're going to basically put the muscle where it hasn't been before. So you're going to be able to challenge the muscle if you want to grow. We're going to just have a look at some of the questions. Is it better to do less reps and more weights than more reps or less weights? Beautiful. That's an awesome question, Anders. Again, it depends. I personally think they're both as important as each other. Again, both ways you're going to be putting tension on the muscle, just in different ways, of course. When we talk about, let's say for instance, less reps and more reps and less weight, you're also talking about a sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which basically is involved in increasing the amount of glucose uptake in the muscle and causing muscle swelling, and also making the muscles appearing bigger. And it's also another type of hypertrophy. So you can actually grow the muscles that way too. So again, like I said, I'm not knocking down lifting lighter weights for high reps. I personally think they're both as important as each other as well. And also promotes more blood flow. You get more of a pump. And also, yes, and there's also been some studies that have been showing that when you work in the lactate acid system, that your body produces more natural growth hormones. So that could again be an advantage for you working in that phase. So yeah, again, like I said, I'm not knocking down lighter weights, but heavy and lightweight, they both go hand in hand with each other. I've just finished training legs. I actually trained legs today. I wasn't meant to train legs, but I had to train for a shoot. So I ended up filming a full YouTube video with legs. And I trained arms earlier on too. Don't know if you guys will know this, but yeah. How to build... Guys, while you're on, please make sure you hit that like button as well for me. Thank you. How to build bigger muscles to lean person. Okay, guys, again, when I started training, one of the things I used to do, I used to go really heavy with my training. I was a little bit reckless, to be honest, and I don't expect you guys to be. But I used to focus more on the compound movements. I used to focus more about weights. And as I got older on my training, I got a little bit more smarter, which is good. I still go heavy, which is one thing I really love. But I also have days where I also control the weights and I back off the weights a little bit, let my joints recover as well. And yes, so honestly, have both. If you want to get bigger as well, most of the time, my personal opinion, get some progressive overloads and challenge the muscle. Get some sort of heavier weights that will challenge you, okay? Heavy is different based on the person. Do you know what I mean? But make sure, the most important thing is you challenging yourself, okay? And as a beginner, if you are going to the gym, I personally think it is good and important for you to record your weights, record your lifts, because you want to challenge them and try and beat them. And for me, that's going heavy. Do you know what I mean? You can work with an 8 to 12 rep range. And even sometimes, 6 to 8 rep range in some lifts. Slow down the movements, control the movements. You're in the gym. This means you can actually control what you're doing. playing more functional sports where you can't control most of your outcomes. Okay, so while you're in the gym and you're in the controlled space, control the movement that you're doing. Okay, focus on that muscle, activate the mind muscle connection. I'm going to teach you guys a trick. And you guys can do this while you're on your chairs or your couches right now. Okay, now here's my bicep. I'm going to do a bicep curl. Okay, I'll grab something, my water bottle for instance. Okay, if you guys have something, grab it right now and just try this with me. Okay, while you guys are watching. And if you like this and you feel this, make sure you hit that like button. So guys, I'm going to do a bicep curl. So you guys can see my bicep curl. Really nice and easy. Now I need to focus on mind muscle connection. I know some people can't feel their biceps, but I want to feel my biceps. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tap the bicep. Okay, and keep my full focus there. Slowly control the movement. I know this is not very heavy weight, but I don't know if you guys are trying this right now. I want you to let me know in the comments if you can feel your biceps. Guys that are on live streaming right now, can you please try this and also comment below. Let me know if you can just grab something, tap your bicep, get that squeeze really slow up, and tell me if you can feel a connection. Okay? So mind muscle connection is important. You're in a controlled environment, utilize it. Progressively overload if you want to build some good mass as well. Some of the things, sometimes your exercise, you just want to keep nice and simple. You don't want to go too crazy with it. Okay, one air says cardio necessary even when you're skinny. Okay, cardio fitness is not just for losing weight, guys. Cardio is also great personally for the heart. That's what I found as well. So it's for your overall health, guys. Regardless of what your goal is, your health should always come number one. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you again, like I said, I personally like cardio for the health aspect of things. It keeps me lean, yes. I did some boxing today. HIIT cardio, I love HIIT cardio as opposed to list, but again, it's for your health. So your question about even is cardio necessary even if you're skinny? My personal opinion, yes, 100%, 100%. And when your body's working well, everything else comes well with it. I want to train with Kwame. I'm sure one day we'll do some training sessions. I do quite a few appearances as well, and I'm gonna when I do these appearances, I get the opportunity to meet some of you guys and train with you guys while we're there. Guys, make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying this video as well. Feel free to ask any questions as well. I'll be here to answer for you guys. Can we work out? So this is by Srijith Ne. And sorry if I mentioned your name wrong. I really apologize for it. I'm terrible with names. Can we work out for 2 body parts a day? Okay, this is an amazing question, Srijith. This is really good. Actually, I like it. So, yes, you can. And again, this is a personal opinion. The reason why I say is you can basically work out 2 body parts. One can be recovering and the other part could not be affecting that. So make sure as long as they're not affecting each other per se, so you don't end up overtraining the other, then you're good. I do that sometimes, really rarely, but I do that sometimes. And it is tough. So especially when you are training really, really hard. But honestly, I do that on days and they're usually not very planned. So maybe I'll train already and then my mate is like, oh, do you want to train this? Or let's say I'll train back and my mate's like, oh, do you want to train shoulders? And I'll be like, yeah, well, I've trained such a big muscle group already. So why not train a smaller muscle group like shoulders? So honestly, you can, because we all know frequency and obviously with recovery, paired with recovery, there's a good outcome that can come out of it and you can actually get more growth from that too. So this is just gonna allow you to basically train more frequently and get more out of it. So yeah, that's the main thing. For in that aspect, you gotta focus on the aspect that you gotta focus on your priority at the moment. If your priority is building muscle, as long as you're also recovering, personally I think that could work. I don't do enough cardio. Again, it just depends on you, and it depends on what is enough cardio. How much cardio is enough, is that good for your heart? Because again, are you doing enough cardio for getting leaner, or are you doing enough cardio for getting keeping your health intact, you know. So it all depends what enough cardio is for you. How long are you staying? I'm not in LA at the moment. I don't know why my location says that. Do you lose muscles if you do cardio? That is a big question. I was actually gonna leave that for another vlog. Oh my god. I can't believe you asked that. Do you lose muscles if you're doing cardio? Again, this depends. So if you're doing, okay, let's take two athletes, for instance. Let's take a sprinter and let's take a long distance runner. A long distance, and okay, there's different types of muscle fibers, okay, and we all know there's type 1 and type 2 muscle fibers, are fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers. Sprinters have fast twitch muscle fibers predominantly, and runners, like long distance runners, may have predominantly slow twitch muscle fibers. Being an endurance athlete, those slow twitch muscle fibers is gonna help you grow like for longer. This is my theory. Now, you can also train for these muscle fibers. So usually, like, you know, if you get a like a long distance runner in the gym and he starts doing some resistance training, he's most likely going to build also with a good program. He's eating well. Excuse me. Yeah, he's most likely going to build some fast twitch muscle fibers. The same way, if you take a resistance trainer, you send them to do some long distance running, they're also gonna build some slow twitch muscle fibers. So slow twitch muscle fibers are a lot smaller. Fast twitch muscle fibers are the bigger, bulkier muscle fibers. So you can kind of see what direction I'm heading. Now, I'm not saying cardio is bad for you, okay? With cardio, you're gonna be burning energy. You're gonna be burning calories, okay? Just make sure you're eating enough, one, to recover, and two, that you're not in a you're not causing any muscle catabolism to your body. So, I mean, if you are eating enough for recovery and your body is not catabolizing anything, I don't know. Man, I've been talking for so long and so quickly, so sorry about my voice and like missing words. But yeah, if you're not in a catabolic state, then you're not gonna be losing muscle. With that being said, but you could also be building also a if you're doing a really like a lot of long distance running, you might be starting to build a lot of slow twitch muscle fibers, which may be a lot smaller. And when you start to get a predominant amount of that, so when you start to prioritize and spend more time long distance running, then you can kind of see where your body is going to switch over. So you can kind of see what kind of answer I'm heading towards without me even actually saying it out there, because I know there's so many opinions on that one. That's a big question. I'll leave that for another vlog. We're going to do a full analysis on that too. I have so many questions. Just 15 years old. Thank you. After a workout, is it necessary to do stretch the muscles? Yes, stretching is really, really important. Really, really important. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That's one thing I could honestly improve on, my stretching. If I had more time in the world, and I probably have more time in the world, and I'm just making excuses because I'm just being real with you guys. I hate stretching, but it's really good for you. Really, really good. Mobility, injury prevention. Yeah. You guys need to stretch after your training. It's actually really, really important. I do stretch, but I only do when I start to feel injuries or like nibbles or anything like that. So I really, really advise you to do some sort of stretching at least. It's really, really healthy for you. Stretch as a warm-up. So one day I say stretch as a warm-up or after the workout. Okay. This is another one because there's a lot of there's a lot of thought on this one, because like sometimes you want to do, a lot of people say do some dynamic stretches instead, because that's not gonna impact on your workout. Because what you do when you stretch is you lengthen the muscle. Okay, when you train, you shorten the muscle, so it is gonna impact on your strength personally. But when you work with exercises like a squat, for instance, okay, where your strength is also based on your range of motion as well too. So like you can see how a stretch is going to be beneficial for something like a squat before you do the squat to get your range of motion. But doesn't necessarily mean that you also like, you know, if someone is tightening the hip flexors, the glutes, they're obviously going to need to stretch and roll out and get it out before they can actually do their squat. So again, stretching before an exercise could be beneficial, or you know, it could be useless. Like for instance, if I was about to train arms, for instance, like, or biceps for instance, and do bicep curls, me stretching my biceps at the start of the workout, I don't see any benefits to it personally. So I can't give you a direct answer on that one. Okay, I personally think it just depends on what you're about to do, and you can do dynamic exercises for both. See you later on this. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming by. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them just before I go. You guys are absolute legends. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's at KWAMEDUAH at Kwame Duah on Instagram. You guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate your time, and guys, make sure you click that like button as well before you leave. And subscribe for more. I want to be on my live stream a little bit more. I want to be on YouTube a little bit more for you guys as well, because I've been getting a lot of requests to do more videos on my YouTube channel. So again, yeah, I really appreciate your time, and yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll be here for you guys. So I'm gonna be answering your questions for you guys. I want to see you guys all do well. I want to see you succeed and yeah, get to the top, because it'll be really nice. You know, it's nice to watch your journey, and it's nice to also see you at your best. So one more question: which body part do you love more to work out? Yeah, this one's a hard one. Damn. Yeah, nah, okay. Arms, because I always say arms every day. I love training arms. Arms is so fun. Like that pump with your arms, and also that like the aesthetics that you feel after training arms is crazy, you know. So I'm not gonna lie, arms is my favorite. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I am out.